And man, I get like a lot of questions about this though. The state of Feral Druid, and that people feel like it's squishy. You just die. You always target every round you go in. You're getting trained down by like a unholy DK and whatever. An X. And it's getting absolutely blasted. And I mean, it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing, dude. Feral is squishy. Like, I agree with that. Like, some people tell me, like, Feral's, like, F there is, like, trash, unplayable. It's not that either, though, in my opinion. Like, we're in a pretty good spot. I guess, like, now's a good time to kind of take this rant, huh? In Shuffle Queue. Like, we're in a pretty good spot. At least, offensively-wise. But, kind of how it goes, usually. And sometimes, there's, like, certain specs kind of rise to the top. And it has, like, this dominant, you know, 2-3 specs, and when you're facing those, it feels kind of rough, and like when that spec is like DK or whatever, and like every shuffle it's like you're just getting gripped in, and it's trained by DK and a different spec, then it feels rough. It feels really brutal, man. Like the problem is like regen doesn't heal anymore. Like in PvP it's by 16%. And not 32. Like, I can bear form heart, double regen, and lose HP to, like, DK dots. It heals for nothing anymore. I think, to kind of contrast that, in Shadowlands, it healed for way too much. Then it healed for, like, you just regen and we're full HP. So, it shouldn't heal that much. But, you know, there has to be some kind of middle ground there where it feels pretty good to press, but it's not just like gonna enhance you, you know? It's up in the room that Feral went from S to B tier. The real problem is the player base all stays on S tiers. Dude, if like we had to like rate Feral right now, man, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard. Like Feral is good. Like Feral's art performed like well in shuffles, and like we're not in a horrible state, but there's a problem with Feral Druid for sure. And if you gotta like say it's one problem, then that's gonna be defensively, I would say. And that like tends to be like the thing, like everyone comes to me. It's like, yo, I'm trying to play Feral, and I'm just dying every single time. Like, I've actually seen videos like, yo, hey, I played this class, and it felt so easy, got, you know, 800 instantly almost. And I play Feral, and I'm just like stuck dying on 1500 or whatever. And it's definitely a thing. We're like, we are just very, very squishy right now. And that's the bottom line. But with good use of mobility, bear form, stuff like this, you know, you can kind of offset your squishiness quite a bit. But yeah, bottom line, like, we're very squishy, man. Like, many shuffles, passively, I will heal less than most specs. Like, passively heal less than most things. Here we see last shuffle, I guess. This is a fast round, but let's see here. Of course, it all depends on like who's getting trained down, right, and all that. So keep that in mind. But like many rounds in shuffle, like passively, you're just getting out healed by most things. You see like last shuffle here, right? First round. There's only 6 regrowth casts, not that much. Last 8 casts. Hellstone is like a lot of my healing. And I don't know if this is me, but as a Feral Druid, and keep in mind, this is me getting targeted a lot of those rounds too. I feel like you should be healing a bit more than a lot of these like non-hyper classes. Like it feels bad. There's one shuffle where I spent like so many globals in healing, like half my globals was like healing, right? And I died in the end. And I checked the healing meters. I'm number 6, and I'm behind like a D-Age. I forget, like a Fury Warrior, whatever, and maybe a Warlock, I think it was. And I'm just behind every other like player passively, and that feels really, really bad. So I think buffing regrowth a bit would definitely go a long way. Okay? On your self feels, but also just like your general contribution. Giving Rigo a little juice would be great. And regen, yeah. Like, just those two things, I think will go so far, man. So far. But yeah. So kind of when it comes to, like, Pharaoh's problem with being squishy, you can kind of offset it, of course. Good roots, good sense, in general, playing well. You know, like, a good player can kind of make it work in that way. But I think that's kind of why the average kind of player that tries to pick up Pharaoh finds it so hard, because if you're not like really taking advantage of these things, you're getting crushed. You're getting crushed. Ooh, but yeah, I just really hope we get like slight buffs, or not, just some buffs on the self healing, man. Just, you know, like buff regrowth, buff regen. I think just those two things. That's actually, like, for me, just those two things. I think a problem that we've been talking about for like a long time is the general Druid tree, which just has like a few like fundamental problems, like for PvE, PvP, like everything, like where clone is, for example, or like having to go through boomy stuff, you know, like having to like waste, you know, 4 or 5 talents to get something that you need, like stuff like that just feels really bad. Like if you want to cleave clone, right? Okay, actually, to be fair, you're not dropping that much tankiness, but you're not gonna have well honed, you're not gonna have protector, like, because we're spending so many points on things that we never use. So just like changing the location of Cyclone, for example, having Cyclone on a choice node with Soothe maybe or something, or just making clone baseline. There's many ways to kind of fix this. But yeah, because like right here, for example, 1 point wasted, 2 point wasted, 3 point wasted, 5 point wasted, because this one does nothing for you to get clone, right? This tree like never really got changed that much. It got tweaked a bit at some point, but this tree never really evolved from like early Dragonflight Alpha, really. Because like I actually remember early beta, or was it early alpha, whatever it was, the first spec trees that came out, it was like Druid and DH, if I recall. And the feral tree was like really bad. Like it was like, yo, what is this? But they evolved this tree. Like they made it way better. And like this tree I think is great now. But this tree never got that like same care, it felt like. The feral dev quit. Was yeah, something like that, yeah. And this tree just like never got that same attention. And it's still having like those same fundamental issues that it had like since its inception, you know, like way back when, several months before it even came out, since the game came out, or before the game came out rather. They like made like some new connections, but and tweaked a few things, but overall nothing really changed, which was quite disappointing. Here's the thing, don't get me wrong, like I think Feral is good right now, like we are good. I'm just gonna like pointing out the problem with Feral that how I see it right now. But yeah, don't get me wrong, like I think Feral is good. I actually love like the Feral playstyle right now with I really love Wild Tumens. I do. I would say squishiness is the biggest problem though.